Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good to see everybody. Hey, Linda, number one girl, number one. All right. And chocolate covered pickles, number two. Blessing Mama PG. Much love to you guys. Good to see you in here. Nana's Angel, number three. All right. There we go, girl. And chocolate covered pickles, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Amen. And let's see here. Number four is Hey C. You're number four in here tonight. All right. God bless. Good to see everybody in here. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Let's get to it. Minnie Pearl, good to see you. Absolutely good to see you. Come in. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. I was checking something here. Hey, Lisa. Let's see. Nella, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Jess, good to see you, sweetie. C. Dorothy, good to see you in here. God bless. There's Miss Justice. There you are, girl. I see you. Carrie, how you doing tonight, hon? Let me see. Oh, I'm almost to the bottom. I'm almost to the bottom. God bless. Ah, there's my other C. Uh, as soon as we get started doing something, they want us. How it goes every time, right? Hey, Bridget, how you doing, sweetie? Oh, Carrie, that is beautiful. She's a beautiful lady. Good to see you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. So sweet. Anyway, I decided to come in tonight and talk about Andy, right? Andy was a real key warrior. He was being a key warrior. Matter of fact, there was quite a few key warriors, right? At Killer Looks. And it was all hitting the keys, really chatting it up. I took note that Andy Bernard um was really putting out some information there, right? He said we had one cam that I know of. When I left, the cards were there. So, yeah, she would have them. That's what he said, right? Well, if they only have one cam, why do they got cards? Why do they got cards? Wouldn't it be a card? Because, like, trail cams, when the SD card, it'll, um, if it's full, it'll start over, right? It'll start over. Pretty much erase what you had, record what's going on previously. Um, yeah. So why? I mean, if you only have one camera, why have cards? That's what I'm wondering about. That don't make no sense. have to have more than one cam if you're going to have cards, right? Am I correct? Anyway, and someone asked him a question, which I'd like to address tonight as well. Well, he says, well, listen again and bring it out, you know. And he was talking about he didn't ever say that he had any SD cards from back when he was on Ben Hill Road. That's what that was about. Um, then they were asking him, did Fred have cameras? He said, don't know. I don't go around Fred. Right? And he says he wasn't on the road like Fred was trying to say he was. And somebody in there was saying his dad was a preacher. It also said his dad's name was on the church. Hey, Molly, good to see you, sweetheart. God bless. Much love to you, girlfriend. Anyway, he said that his dad ain't a preacher, and he didn't ever see his dad's name on, the church board. Right there, I've never seen his name on the church sign. He said his dad wasn't a preacher. He said he wasn't ever in church, right? I don't know what got that started, but it did. And then this is know what. Now, someone asked him if he knew, or did he think that JodiSue is keeping something back from him. They basically was like, hey, Andy, do you think JodiSue knows what happened to Summer and is keeping it away from you? And he totally avoided the question, right? And then I guess they came back and said, do you know? And he's like, know what? And then he went on with the camera stuff and totally avoided, the question asked about JodiSue having, did he feel she had any information? He didn't want to talk about it, which I found pretty suspicious. Why would you? I mean, it's just a clear-cut answer, right? Yes or no. But he wasn't, and I take note that, Don Wells kind of shares that, that trait with Andy, where he rather avoid it than lie, to address it and tell a lie about it. For some reason, them two, really just don't like to, flat out lie, unless they're pushed in, kind of pushed into it. That could be brownies, but I like the neutron cams. You just, there's like one chip. You don't have to switch out. It'll go over. It'll go over top of. Well, you might, like if you got something good on one, like you said, if you got something good on one of the chips, but I would, basically download that and then use the same chip anyway. That, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you would want to put a new chip in when you take the other one out to look over it or whatever, right? I don't know. I mean, they basically have, camera systems where they're solar. They're solar now. And you don't have to have electric or have them plugged in or anything like that. They're basically solar and power off of solar, and you can actually get all the footage on your phone. You just open up the app, and boom, you're able to see everything going on. um I'm not understanding why they don't use those type of camera systems down there. uh they did say that the Wi-Fi is really sketchy in that area, so you know but it wasn't too sketchy for Candace to call Donald. It wasn't too sketchy for, JodiSue to call Andy. It wasn't too sketchy for Grandma's phone to be calling 911. And, I don't know. I don't know. I think Candace called 911 off of Grandis's phone because she had Donald on her phone listening, to everything. Um, because if you remember, Donald called 911 first, then Candace called 911. So that would be logical that Candace didn't want to call 911 until Don called him, and then he could listen when she called him, to hear what she everything she was saying as well. Um, that's my opinion. Um, I don't know in sketchy Wi-Fi if even a trail cam would go to your phone. You because it does take internet, right? You got to have internet. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I'm not in up in Ben Hill Road Holler. Um, I do know you lose reception when you're up in there to your phone. Yes, that is true. Or you did back, back at the time Summer went missing, and up to around uh I see out there on Beach Creek, you know, it doesn't seem to be too bad. Wi-Fi don't seem to be, it's like once you go in to that Ben Hill Road holler. Um but also Beach Creek, like it's in what area you're in. If you're where that cemetery and stuff is, you lose reception too. Something about that one little area. Um, because yeah, there was no reception at the cemetery as well. So um, it seems to be that area. And it's true that there was no reception at Morrison Cemetery. Um, Nor is there any inside of um Ben Hill Road half the time. Um, or there wasn't. I don't know. I heard that they after Summer came up missing, I heard that they put in put something new in there, to try to help the service around there. Um, be a little better. I mean, it's sad that a child has to come up missing, for better service to go into an area. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking they did that day See, because I'll tell you why. JodiSue said she was calling Andy. Grandma's phone seemed to work just fine, calling 911, and Candace's phone seemed to work just fine when she was, having all that interaction with Marlena Crawford at 4:30 up on the hill, and it don't seem like she was having much of a problem communicating with Don Wells as well um, during all of that. So yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, true. It is. It is, Lisa. Absolutely. Um, that's true. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, Molly. She said that she found a Chow shoe. Yes, she did. She said she found but she recanted on that. She recanted on that later and said that, um she thought it was one of those kid shoes that belonged, to Andy's wife, present wife right now. Um is, that she believed it was one of those children's shoes. That woman had kids. I don't know if that woman had kids that young. I'm not sure how old the kids were that this particular woman's got. I was thinking more along the lines of they went out looking for Jackie Dobbs the night before. Remember that, Molly? They went out looking for Jackie Dobbs. Could that shoe have been a shoe they had took with them, belonging to Summer, that they had planned on putting, putting somewhere near Jackie Dobbs' hotel room or his vehicle where he was, if he was, because JodiSue said that they didn't only go to all these hotels, that they suggested to him, but they also went up and down side roads to see if maybe he was trying to camp somewhere, um, in one of those hollers. And so could it have been, a shoe that they forgot to get it out when they got back because they had been drinking and possibly engaging in some illegal substances um, before they left that evening? Because they were down there on the road for a long time. They gathered, I mean, as soon as law enforcement removed Jackie Dobbs out of the holler, Don and Candace and the kids, and Grandis, they all descended down the hill talking with JodiSue and Andy, and they all was down there for like a long time, like hours, just talking. And once it was getting dark, that's when they went looking for Jackie Dobbs. Um, Grandis took the kids back up on the hill, and JodiSue's oldest son took the little girl, and they went out looking for Jackie Dobbs. Could that shoe have been Summers that they forgot, like I said, to get out of the vehicle? Possibility. Yes, absolutely. Maybe JodiSue was just, in their partners in crime, inside joke at, how these evil people are and their tactics. It's very, that might have been her way. Uh, hey, Lisa, it might have been her way of, letting us know that what they was going to leave if they found Jackie Dobbs was one of Summer's shoes, you know. Well, if she said she got them out because she knew the law was going to be coming, then they must have belonged to, belonged to Summer. Because why the hell would you care if they belong to Andy's, you know, future wife at the time? Why would you care? I mean, like, you know, if my husband, well, it wasn't her husband, so it was her live-in live-in partner for ever and a day. Like, wow, she wasted years with that guy. But, he stole he stole everything she had and then left her, right? But the point being is, um, why would you care? Like if my boyfriends, for instance, because they weren't married, um, was ran off, after, you know, he got the best years, you know, out of me, then, um, and he comes back and he has some shoes in his vehicle, belonging to this lady he's having an affair with that he's about to get married to. Why would I give a fuck? Why would I be getting them out of the vehicle? I mean, I don't give a damn if law enforcement finds them shoes. They belong to his girlfriend's kids, right? So why would I give a shit? And I'm going to leave them in the vehicle because he needs to take them back to the child. Don't the child need his shoes? I mean, I'm not going to blame the kid for, for what the adult's doing. He needs to take those shoes back if they belong to her child because the child needs his shoes. So if she took them out of the vehicle, which, she said a shoe. She didn't say shoes. She said a shoe was in his car. She found a shoe. So that's a big difference. Oh, the SD cards. I I didn't ever hear her say that Andy had any SD cards in his vehicle. I know she said that he had a shoe in his car. That's the topic we was on, is a shoe. Um, and it's very likely it would have been Summer's shoe. Now the SD cards, I didn't ever hear her say there's any SD cards in Andy's vehicle. Not at all. I heard her say that the reason that the cameras were not working is because they were going to move them. Her and her son was moving the cameras due to Jackie Dobbs, and that they wasn't that the place they moved them to, the wire wouldn't reach, and they were going to need to get extra wire to hook the cameras back up. Now, my thought is, trail cams, trail cams don't need electricity. You could put a trail cam any damn where. You don't have to plug it in. So that's why they're called trail cams, because you could take them out in the woods and leave them any place and get footage. So I don't know what she was talking about. And if she was so worried about Jackie Dobbs, then why would you not have a camera why would you, not have a camera at all because you ain't got enough wire? Wouldn't you move the camera somewhere where you would have enough wire because you're worried about Jackie Dobbs? I mean, how are you going to catch him coming back if you don't put the camera where somewhere? I don't give a damn where. I mean, if you had it in the first place where there was enough wire, then you could move it somewhere else where there'd be enough wire in order to, make the camera work. I mean, if I'm worried about somebody, I'm not even going to move the damn camera. I'm not even going to move it. I'm going to keep it there. Along with, if I'm going to get anything, I'm going to go get another camera, right? No, she said that that there wasn't enough wire and they needed more wire. And that shows you she wasn't worried about Jackie Dobbs because, she didn't care if the camera was hooked up or not. Yeah, that is a problem. With YouTube, yes, that can be, you know, real freedom of speech is not welcomed anywhere in this world today. Trust me, you know. And it really isn't welcomed for the righteous, right? It's really not welcome for the righteous. Now you have a fine evening too. But yeah, Andy was totally, totally, like, he was super engaged in the chat. But to be honest with you, um, I think this is just my opinion. I think that a lot of people in the chat was very rude. What I'm saying is, um, you get a lot more with honey than you do vinegar. Um, when someone like this, pops into your chat, you'll get a lot more with honey than vinegar. And Andy was getting, finally he just dropped off because, the people were getting super rude with him and everything. And he just disappeared. But to be perfectly honest with you, a lot of people, like some people say, oh, I believe Fred Hill. I don't believe a damn thing Fred Hill says, to be honest with you. I really don't believe shit. There's something wrong with Fred. He's like a obsessive compulsive liar, to be honest. I mean, this guy makes up some real shit. And and what worries me is, does he know he's lying or not? Right? I mean, I'm wondering if he actually believes his own lies. That's where I'm at with Fred. Um, hey, spread the love. How you doing, sweetie? But I think out of all the people so far, in this case surrounding Summer's case, I think Andy has, been the most informant, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I, um, a lot of people say, oh, they don't think Andy wants Summer found. Well, I beg the difference. I think he does. I think that Summer is weighing very heavy on Andy, more so on Andy than any of them, to be honest with you. I think, I think Fred, I think Fred Hill is, a person who uh, can commit any type of crime and lay down and go to sleep. Don't give a fuck. That's my opinion of Fred Hill. Like, if I had to say, who is the most evilest out of all of these people, the most, dangerous out of all of these people, well, I say Fred Hill. That's just my opinion. Um, you know, Don and Candace, don't get me wrong, Don and Candace Wells is evil as well. They're very evil, but not to the extent of Fred Hill. What I'm trying to say is I think if the next one next to Fred Hill, I would say Candace. I say Candace is the next to Fred Hill of having, like Fred, I don't think he has a heart at all. I don't think Candace has one either. Um, but I don't think they have a conscience as well. You see what I'm saying? I don't think they have no conscience. A lot of people don't have a fucking heart, but they have a little bit of a conscience. Andy Bernard, I think I think he's bad, but I think he does have a conscience. JodiSue would probably say, bullshit. She probably would laugh about that. But to be honest with you, I think she's more wicked than Andy is. I think she is more heartless and no conscience than Andy. That's just my opinion. The way she talked about children, the way she said that she didn't care if one of those kids went over that cliff. The way that she said if she had a child that had a disability, what she said she would do to it. Um, that's wicked, man. That's just fucking wicked right there. Yeah, she let you know right away, she don't give an F for children at all. Period. Zilch. She has a real ugly, hateful demeanor when it comes to children. No, I don't think Andy's afraid of JodiSue at all. Not at all. No, I don't. I don't think he's scared of her in the least. Andy, Andy was a bouncer. He was a bouncer at those nightclubs. And you have to be pretty damn mean to be a bouncer. You got what I'm saying is, you know, you have to be willing to, you know, you have to be willing to do some pretty evil stuff to be a bouncer. Bouncers, bouncers can be wicked too. Hey, little PG. Good to see you, girlfriend. I think she tried to scare him, I think she tried to scare him with some truth that could have got him put in prison, you know. But I thought about that because she said, you go ask him what he was giving to Candace to sedate those little girls, to sedate those children, is what she said. Not just Summer, but other little girls over there. Um, that was her words. And I think that was the truth. And I think she, thought that that was going to put some fear in Andy, like, bitch, I got info to put your ass in jail. I could either, I can use it and abuse it and you won't be with nobody. And, you know, and I think she did, shake his tree. That's for sure. But, I can't say she didn't rock his world a little bit. That's for damn sure. But I don't think, I don't think he's going to be in too much trouble, you know. What I'm saying is he might have sold it, but he didn't administrate it, right? He did not administer it. And that's a big difference right there. He wasn't the one he wasn't the one dosing it up. And um and out. So, and Candace is a grown ass fucking woman. You know, I don't give a damn what he was going over there, you know, giving her. She's the one that would take all the fall for what she did with it. Now, JodiSue have a hard time proving that Andy knew exactly what Candace was doing with it. Well, yeah, if he knew, yeah, it would be the same thing. But proving, saying it and proving it's two different things. JodiSue could say it all day long. Where's the witnesses? Where are the witnesses? That's the thing. So she really ain't got shit on Andy, to be honest with you. I mean, law enforcement, Andy just say she's scorned because he was with her all those years, 2 kids, didn't marry her. And when he put a ring on something else, she just lost her fucking mind and saying shit that, And he could say, yeah, you know, uh, even if Candace, say law enforcement arrested Candace and Candace says, well, Andy was supplying me with the stuff to do this. Prove it. Because I think law enforcement's going to tell Candace, I don't give a damn who supplied you the stuff. You're the one that administer it to these, you passed it out to these kids. You weren't supposed to do that, right? You're the problem. You are the problem. You're a grown ass fucking adult. It doesn't matter who gave it to you, right? You passed it out. So, really, if Andy came forth and told everything he knew, say he did know what they done and why they done it, and he came forth to get the reward, $40,000. If he came forth to get the reward, he could get the reward, right? I mean, he could tell him exactly what happened to Summer, where she's at, and he could collect the money. Because really, they ain't none of them got nothing on him, to be honest with you. And that's the truth. But I do think, you know, he has a conscience. And I do think, you know, like JodiSue, when Andy brought out the cemetery, you know, over there and started talking about the cemetery, JodiSue, man, her, you know, her tail feathers, you know, really got ruffled, right? And she was all over it. Like she was out there every fucking day for hours and hours. Like I heard she did like, you know, a 2 or 3 day live. She was up. People were like, PG, I don't even know, you know. We didn't even see her get up to go to the restroom. She was like sitting there for like 2 to 3 days straight. Didn't go nowhere, just sitting right in front of the camera. Talking about this shit. Well, it obviously ruffled her. Why? If Summer's not in that cemetery over there, if she's not down in there, why would it ruffle JodiSue that much? Why would she feel she needs to come out here and fucking convince everybody that Andy's fucking nuts? That Andy, you know, is just, you know, all bullshitting people and getting a big laugh out of it. Because I don't think he was bullshitting anybody. I don't think Andy was bullshitting no one. That's just my opinion.
I've said this since the beginning to people that made a difference. That I've told people about having the dream that I've, you know, in the open grave. It's been told. It's not a lie. And I have heard my whole life that the best time to get rid of somebody is when there's an open grave. The dude was buried on what day? The 18th?
Now I'm going to tell you something about law enforcement. Law enforcement knows when someone remembers dates, because people don't. Like, a lot of people don't even remember their damn anniversary. A lot of people, you know, forget to get a damn Christmas gift. Right? Most people, especially men, forget their kid's birthday. They forget their wife's birthday. They forget Valentine's Day. They forget every fucking thing. Right? So when a man is got dates set to mind, like can recall them, like Fred does with Valentine's Day when Cotton Simpson was found unalived. Mm, you know, well, you got to, you got to say, hey, why? Why does this person have that date set to mind? Just saying, you know, like, say, for instance, your husband remembers his mother's birthday, but not yours. I'm going to think there's something kind of weird in that, right? I mean, I'm just going to think something's fucking weird in that. That's just my thinking. So, I think there's something weird about Fred remembering the day Cotton Simpson was found unalive. I mean, and honey, he don't know just the day, he knows the fucking year. Like he's got it stuck. Why would he have it stuck? Well, I think it's stuck there because he did it. That's my opinion. I will keep it. Just saying. And Andy Bernard has this Timothy Morson's whole agenda to date. I mean, he knows what day he died on. He knows what day he's buried on. He knows every fucking thing. It's like there, right? It's set in stone. Why? Why would he, I think for the same reason Fred has got, February the 14th, 2023 stuck in his head. Because Andy knows that's where she's at. He thought people weren't going to pick up on it. He thought he was going to be able to say it and people weren't going to pick up on it. Like JodiSue in Discord early on, she talked about Timothy's grave too. She talked about the big blue tent over there. She brought it, she brought it up. I mean, they, I think JodiSue, in her case, in the Discord, I think she just wanted to, do the partners in crime, inside joke and tell where Summer was, but let it slide under everybody's, nose and go away. Because there, it's only a handful of people in there. And a lot of people don't really listen to what JodiSue says. Because, it takes a lot to understand what the fuck she's saying. And she probably was, saying it like this. Yeah, the blue tower there in the graveyard and on the fucking day that all of this shit was going down and that it had a big blue tent. We were able to see it and law enforcement's walking all fucking around it and probably didn't even bother to go there and look down in it, but it is what it is, And people's like, what the fuck did she just say? Because that's how she talks. She does not talk plain. She does not talk clear. Right? She sounds like, she sounds like she just, did a whirlwind through the Wells house and got every bottle R&R, that she could find and done slurped it up. Like she's 3 sheets in the fucking wind. And I'm going to be honest with you. I spent a lot of sleepless nights. A lot of sleepless nights back in the day listening to her because nobody else would. I've actually got up in the middle of the fucking night because I listened to her mumbling and her slurring and I was, pondering on something that I didn't know she said or she didn't say because she's what and I'm like, son, I think, she might have said this. I got to go back and listen. So I'm up at fucking 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning listening to her slur some more. Trying to figure out, if she's saying what I think she's saying. And then I'd have to take it and I'd have to put it through an app that clears it up some. So, I could try to make it out a little better. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes you said, son of a bitch. I'm going to have to send somebody in there to ask about this again in her chat. Then she blocks the motherfucker. And you're like, what? She just blocked the fucking person. She ain't going to talk about it again. Shit. And then a little later, the one thing I noticed about JodiSue, even though she blocked the fucking person, she was thinking about what they said. And then all of a sudden she'd talk about it. And I'm like, damn, yeah, it's exactly what she was saying. Gotcha. But I'm going to tell you something. Man, I'm starting to ask myself, was that shit worth it or not? I don't know. She's a hard one. She's a hard one to listen to. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. If I was doing this shit for money, them motherfuckers have to pay me more than overtime to listen to her. I'd be like, oh, fucking hell no. I want like the whole department's pay to listen to her. For real. She's a hard one to listen to. You should not only get everybody's pay, but you should get a fucking bonus. Right? Oh, I'm going to tell you, I got JodiSue down pat. When she's about to say something, something really good, she would go into that slurring mode. She'd be talking just like I'm talking to you right now. Like clear as fucking day. And then all of a sudden, when she had something good, she'd be like, I'm like, what the fuck? Bitch, you was just talking normal. What the fucking hell happened to you? Don't tell me that shit came on like that. Oh, hell to the fucking no. And then the next thing you know, she be talking plain again. You're like, you got this one little fucking clip. Like, she slurring like a motherfucker in it. I'm like, oh, hell, they got to be something in here that she didn't want people to catch. Right? But you caught Summer. That you caught Summer for sure. So you know it was something good. Yeah, that's how she plays that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with her fucking throat, dude. She could talk as plain as anybody else does. She just does all that slurring shit for I don't even fucking know why. You know, people don't lock up like that. You know, only when they got something fucking good to say that they don't want you to be able to cipher. Come on. That bitch is like, I'm going to make them work for this little piece of information. You know what? Okay. What the fuck ever? Shit. Yeah. She did that shit all the time. Hey, man. I'm going to be honest. I like to find that shit funny, but I was the dumb fucker listening to it, right? it just ain't fucking funny when you were the one that got, right? With it all. It ain't that damn funny. For real.
Okay, so what? Okay, so 3 days after Summer went missing, they buried that dude. Do you think they dug the grave the day that Summer went missing? I'm saying it was dug between the day the dude died and the day Summer went missing, the 11th. Not if she went over there on the 15th when Candace left at some point in time off that fucking hill, took her over there. Maybe she went to Fred's and Fred helped her. If it was on the 15th, all she would have had to do is go over there and dig down just a little bit more, put her in there, cover her back up. When they brought the vault in a few days before they buried the dude, the concrete vault would have been set on top of it, and nobody would have known no different. And we know who dug the graves. We know all that shit. So
there you go. We know who dug the graves. You bet your ass they did. And Chad Arnold, which she went to Fred's house and met up with, followed him out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We know that for a fact. We know she followed Chad Arnold out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek. Now, this is just my opinion. I believe they stuck Summer in one of those totes up on 110 Ben Hill Road. I think Grandis and Candace got back home, gaslighted the boys up, put Summer in a tote, put her up in that back seat where she already had been. Candace waited. When she talked to Marlena, she was waiting on, that was to let her know Chad was coming in. Candace went off the hill, on down to Fred's, waited for Chad to pull in, and then she followed Chad out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek, right over to that cemetery with that big black tote, and stuck it right down in the ground and covered it over. And I think law enforcement was running all around it the whole fucking time and had no damn idea it was there. That's my opinion, honey. I'm going to keep it. And I bet you 10 to 1 is probably the truth. And I think Fred Hill's ass and Laura was down there at that house. I think somehow Cotton Simpson happened to be there as well. And I truly believe that he saw Summer in that box. He called it a box, but it was a black tote. And I'm going to tell you something. Candace had the jacket, she had the top. The only thing missing was the pants. That's the only thing that was missing, was the pants. And I think that she didn't want those because of reasons that, I'm not going to go into detail with here, about what happens when people, went to the other side. But I'm going to tell you something. You're pretty motherfucking wicked to steal the clothes off your child's back after your bitch ass done destroyed it. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. I don't think you get any fucking wickeder than that. I do not know what's wrong with these sorry ass bitches in this world today destroying children. I have no idea what's wrong with these fucking people. I don't want to know. In fear that you'd have to be like them if you could understand it. But I do know that you're a wicked ass piece of shit if you steal the clothes off your baby's back. After doing something so evil. That's disgusting. Yeah, absolutely, Bridget. It is. Hey, I appreciate that. I really do. God bless. Did they unlive Cotton for the cash, or was he a live? I'm going to tell you both. Both. I think it was like, um, they say, bird in the hand's worth two in a bush. I think Fred Hill got two, at once. I think Cotton, had that money and all them cigarettes and everything. And I also think, according to Laura, Cotton and Fred had an argument. Had an argument that very evening when Cotton got there. Fred and Cotton Simpson got into it over Summer. And Laura said, "What was you guys? I heard you arguing about Summer. What was you arguing about?" And he said, "You don't need to know. I'm protecting you." That's what he told Laura. "I'm protecting you." Oh yeah, he had already told his mother. He had told some more family. Which what's really weird is he had told his mother, and his mother came up unalived right about a week before he did. 1 week before Cotton Simpson came up unalived, his mother came up unalived. But he had told other family as well. He said if something happened to him, he wanted them to know that Fred Hill had Summer at his house in a box. That's what he told them. That Fred Hill had Summer in a box. And Candace did go down to Fred Hill's house around 4:30 on June 15th, 2021, and meet up with Chad Arnold. And Fred Hill was supposed to, him and Laura was supposed to have been at a scrapyard scrapping a vehicle. And then Fred said no. Um, we were out on the road and we saw a man with a motorcycle broke down, and we took him to a garage, and I ain't never seen the man again. And then Fred changed the story from it being a man that he didn't know with one motorcycle to no, it was a buddy of his with two motorcycles. So the story where Fred and Laura was, the story kept changing. But then there was a neighbor who was helping search. He was part of the search party up on Ben Hill Road. And he said that he was noticing, everybody that was coming in and out of Ben Hill Road. And he said that Fred Hill did not ever come in Ben Hill Road, but he did see him trying to go out around 8 o'clock that evening. And law enforcement told him no, and he had to turn around and go back down to his house. So it sounds like Fred had been inside Ben Hill Road the whole entire evening. Which, so if it's true that Fred hadn't ever went out to come back in, then he had to have been at the house when Candace came there at 4:30. He would have had to have been there when Chad Arnold showed up. He would have had to have been there when Candace followed Chad out of the road onto Beach Creek. And then someone said that that Fred and Laura was supposed to have been in the vehicle with Chad Arnold when they all went out onto Beach Creek. That's allegedly. I don't know, but that was allegedly. So I do think Fred knows. And I do think, that oh yeah. It would have been a happy day with that money. I think that him and Cotton got into it, and I think that Fred did see Cotton as a liability, and he wanted that money as well. So why not get two birds with one stone, right? And I truly believe that's what he did. That's my opinion. And he took a lie detector's test and failed it. Inconclusive is the same as failing the damn lie detector's test. But I truly appreciate the support for the channel, sweetheart. Absolutely. God bless. Hey, Carrie, all of us, every last one of us, all of our hearts break for little Summer, right? All of our hearts break for her. Yeah. These people are, they're on a whole different level of evilness than, the average person out there. There's some people, are a little evil. They're a little evil. They might try to set you up, or they might try to, steal something you got, or they might try to, mess around with your man or your woman. There's some people that's a little evil. And you gotta thank goodness for the ones that's a little evil, right? Especially when it comes to trying to mess with your man or your woman, because if they're just showing you, you know, the integrity of what you got, you know, what kind of partner you got, right? And if your partner do it, then really their evilness did you a damn favor. Their evilness showed you that that piece of shit wasn't worth having in the first place, and God's got something better for you. So why are you wasting your time? Let it go. Um, but you know, sometimes um, the evilness. Sometimes evilness can seem like it ain't got a silver lining, right? Most of the time, it does. Um, you know, it's a tragedy. What happened to Summer? A real tragedy. But it has a silver lining because it saved her brothers, right? It connected a whole lot of people. You know, it's connected a whole lot of people that needed to be connected to other folks. Um, in this world, they became good friends. They become companions and good friends and everything. Um, I gotta say, little Summer, all good, all good has came from this tragedy where she's concerned. And if any child deserves to be found, brought home, and justice served, it's that child right there. That child was a bright light in this world when she was here. She's a bright light now. It's terrible that this kind of evil exists in our world. It's not it's not easy dealing with missing children. It did. It did. It saved them. And just recently, two other little girls, you know, um, Genesis and Jehaven, both of them, both little girls, beautiful, beautiful little girls. You know, they lost their lives to evil, abusive people, and neither one of them deserved that. Children do not deserve to be taken out of this world by the hands of evilness. No one has a right to go around destroying babies. I mean, for God's sake, they haven't even lived, and these son of a bitches are destroying them, right? And there's nothing right about it. Nothing right about it at all. And in this world, it's becoming so fucking sick. It's becoming so sick. It's becoming so demented. Like, this world is actually starting to try to treat children like they're adults. Put a 1 in the chat if you took note of that. They're trying to treat grade school children like they're freaking teens and you know young adults, and they're trying to treat the high school kids the regular teenagers like they're already 30. And it's just fucking sick. It's sick. It's demented. There's something wrong, with the mental capacity of these humans in today's world. Just saying. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am not for that shit. Keep your fucking hands the hell off of fucking babies. These are children, man. Let them be children. Stop it. Leave them the hell alone. Another thing I'm so sick of is these fucking schools, these teachers. If a child has the regular energy of a child, oh my goodness. We've got to get this child, evaluated. We've got to get the parents to get this child on something to make it sit still. Children ain't supposed to sit still, damn it. Children have a ton of energy and they need to get outside. They need to run it off and they need to be allowed to be children. Children like to run and play. And I am so sick of these motherfuckers that got to have a childhood. They got to get out there and they got to run and play and they got to be kids and they got to do all the things that they don't want the children today doing. Well, fuck you. Stop trying to make these little kids live in an old folks' home, motherfucker. Just because your ass ain't got the fucking energy to keep up anymore, don't mean that you should go and try to steal away these children's energy. Just stop it. Oh, don't feed them no sugar. Don't feed them this. Don't feed them that. Bitch, you ate all that sugar. You ate all that candy. You ate all that shit. And now you want to tell people not to let someone else do it when you enjoyed the hell out of it yourself? I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of all the double standards. And I'm going to tell you, and then you see that mother freaking teacher slide the door open and slip that fucking candy bar out, right? Packing around their big old fucking Kool-Aid cup. You don't even know what the fuck's in that thing. They all carry some kind of thermos bottle. Who in the hell knows what's in it? I bet that shit ain't water. Just saying. I'm tired of kids being destroyed. I'm tired of people, if they're not destroyed the way Summer and Genesis and little Jahaven, if they ain't destroyed like that, they're being destroyed in every other way. And it's not right. People need to leave our children alone. Right? Exactly, Carrie. I'm going to tell you, honey, it ain't getting no better. It ain't getting no better. You know how many parents are homeschooling now? A ton. A shit ton of parents are homeschooling because they do not want to send their children into those locked up buildings where they don't have any idea what the hell is going on in there because parents ain't allowed in there anymore. You got to make an appointment to walk in the fucking school that your child goes to, that your child is in. You got to make an appointment to go in there. They want you to line up. Oh, don't walk your kids to school. We need you to drive your child and set in a line and drop it off, and then trust us. Trust us for 6.5 to 7 hours alone with your children, and then you come back through and pick them up. You don't know what the fuck they were doing inside that school with your kids all that time. You just have to trust it. I don't trust people like that. I've been on the inside of those schools, and I know what goes on inside of there. And I have seen these teachers have full-blown conversations right in front of a child about how worthless their parents are and how their parents need to do this and their parents need to do that. And all of the kids' problems is because of the parent. No, bitch. The problem is because of you. It ain't the parents' job to teach these kids. It's your job. That's why you get paid. That's why they call this a school. It's because this is where these children are supposed to learn. If they were supposed to learn at home, then why the fuck we sending them to school? Why are you getting a paycheck? Why is our taxes even being wasted on your ass? Right? Somebody needs to speak the fuck up. I guess I'm doing it tonight. I guess PD's doing it, right? It's a real problem in our world. And when we're fed up with our children being treated like this, that's when something will change. Being fed up isn't enough. You got to stand up. But you got to get fed up first. Because fed up motivates your ass to stand up. And once you stand up, that's when change starts happening. People need to start standing up. I don't send my kids to no public fucking schools. Let me tell you that right now. Hell no. I'm going to tell you right now, my kids, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for all that. I want my kids to go to college. I want my kids to be drug-free. They are. I want them to be alcohol-free. They are. I want my kids to be able to pray when they want to. I want them to have God in their life. I don't want them to walk around and feel like, you know, they're being hindered in any way, form, or how. They're not going to be hindered in this life. Because this is America. This is a free country. That's why we love it. I want my kids to succeed and go to college. I don't want people acting like they got some fucking authority to say what goes on in my children's lives, because they fucking don't. They don't put a roof over their head. They don't put clothes on their back. They don't put food on the table. They didn't go through anything to have them or to raise them. And when that big C word happened, they didn't give a fuck where they was. Just like during the summer, they don't give a fuck where they are. So don't act like you give a fuck at any other time. Right? Exactly. Then people need to be put in their place. They're public fucking servants. They're there to do what we want them to do. And what we want them to do is teach our children math and reading and science and history. the regular curriculum that they're supposed to be teaching and nothing else. Because nothing else is supposed to be being taught inside that fucking building. Just saying. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And they think they can use CPS as a fucking weapon against parents. Yeah. It's bullshit.
I don't think nobody would have paid any attention to if she was done in there the day of the 15th.
There you go. Now, I truly think Andy wants Summer found. I really do. I honestly believe that he wants her found. That's just my opinion. And out of all these people, I think he's been the most honest. I really do. I mean, he hasn't given us a lot, no. But I think he's given us more honestly than Fred, JodiSue, Candace Grandis, Donald, Marlena. I'm going to tell you what the rest of them's been giving us. You want to know what the rest of them's given us?
Do you think that Stacy Slade was actually the fake Fed? I think that there's a person that somebody stole her identity. Exactly. Because there's a real woman by that name in that real area that died. And that's how you can call a funeral home. And see, I had Stacy Slade. I had a name, and there was actually a memorial video up by her family on YouTube. And she died not long before Summer passed.
Oh, what did you say, JodiSue? What the hell did you just say?
She died not long before Summer passed.
What?
She died not long before Summer passed.
She died not long before Summer passed. She died not long before Summer passed. Gotta make sure we say it the way she does. She died not long before Summer passed. Yeah.
Clear this up too. PG said that I've been at Morrison Cemetery. I've not been there not one time since Summer has passed.
Oh, what did you say, Marlena? What did you say, Marlena?
Has passed, or whatever. Since Summer has passed.
Oh, since Summer has passed? Marlena Crawford.
Since Summer has passed.
Oh, there you go. Since Summer has passed.
I'm just going by what Cotton told me. I don't know 100%. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'm just going by what Cotton said.
No, I mean, as far as she was saying that he was in jail on Summer. Well, what I don't know what she's saying. It's not possible, because is she saying this voice isn't possible for it to be his? Because we don't know when this video was taken.
Cotton stated to me that he was on the hill the day Summer, earlier the day Summer.
The day Summer was what?
Cotton stated to me that he was on the hill the day Summer, earlier.
The day Summer was murdered. Cotton said that he was on the hill the day that Summer was murdered. Did you hear that? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Because I heard it. That's Fred Hill. Marlena, passed. JodiSue passed. Cotton was up there today that Summer was murdered. Fred Hill. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to keep doing me so I can do my boys. And yeah, Summer will always be here with me. No matter what anybody says.
You know, and I don't like saying this, and I don't want to say this at all, but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys because they're still here and still living.
What did you say, Candace? What did you say?
And worry about the boys because they're still here and still living.
They're still here and they're still living. She's saying Summer's gone too. Right there, Candace Wells.
I want to know what happened to her.
Yeah,
we want to know.
because she was over here. You guys loved her, and
We loved her like she was our own.
Yeah.
I tried to help with the kids and everything.
Yeah.
I let them spend.
Do you think CPS should ever put the boys back in that house?
No, not at all. Please, no.
No. I appreciate your passion because it seems like you know, and you know.
Those kids come here in the summer before Summer died.
What did you say, Grandbun? What did you say, Grandbun?
Seems like you know, and you know.
Those kids come here in the summer before Summer died.
Before Summer died. Before Summer died. Before Summer died.
Had a lot of people show up in a short period of time. We were hoping that we would find her before dark.
You did?
We did. It happened under my watch, and it was very important that we find her. And people says it was a cold case or that we really didn't care. We exhausted every avenue we could, every resource, trying to find her, and we still looking. It was a lot of pressure and still is. We never really got to talk to them to any length. So I really don't know. Sometimes I feel like they knew something, but I don't know for sure. I feel like the family could have watched her better, paid more attention to her. If she was as active as that, her that small, should have paid more attention to her. Even her brothers.
We never imagined her case would remain unsolved 5 years later. We have made progress over the last year, but there are still many unanswered questions.
Yeah, well, what's your unanswered questions, motherfuckers? Because we probably can answer them for you if it'll help you get your ass out there and do what's righteous in the sight of God, right?
Know that I'm retiring, but I don't want them to stop looking for Summer. I want somebody to find her, even if it's not me.
Do you feel like you'll ever see your daughter again?
Eventually. I don't know about in this life, but...
There you go. Don Wells, what did you say? What did you have to say, Donald?
Eventually. I don't know about in this life, but...
Oh, you know, motherfucker. You know. You know. There you go. There you go. JodiSue, 1. Andy, 2. Marlena Crawford, 3. Fred Hill, 4. Candace, 5. Allison's grandbun, which means Allison knew 2. There you go. 6, 7. Don Wells, 8. You heard tonight every mother freaker surrounding this case, every damn one of them that's a suspect. Let us know Summer's gone. Summer is no longer with us. Every last one of them knows she's dead. How do they know? How? Do they know? Because their asses was fucking there. Their asses was all fucking in on it. That's my opinion. I'll keep it. I will keep it. And that's why this case ain't solved. This case ain't solved because it's way fucking bigger than just these three dumb bastards on Ben Hill Road 110. Right? It's way bigger than Grandis, Candace, and Donald. And that's why it's not solved. Because if we got all of them son of a bitches telling us that she's not with us, then how many more people know? How many more is there in all of this? Because, honey, I'm going to tell you now, I don't think the watch stops here. Just saying. Right? Just saying. Yeah. Exactly. I agree. I agree, Lori. I do. But you know what? The law enforcement down there, I do not think they're equipped. I do not think they're equipped to handle what, you know, I don't think they can handle what's going on here. Sometimes when you have this kind of volume running through a case, this type of, you know, traffic running through a case of a child being destroyed. It takes a long time because see, law enforcement don't want Don Wells. They don't want Andy Bernard and JodiSue. They don't want Fred Hill and Laura. They don't want Marlena, her brother, and Chad Arnold. They don't want these little people right now. They're trying to get to the main vein of it all. They're trying to see how far this, how extended this case has actually extended out to. And they're probably still collecting information. They're probably still collecting names. They're probably still collecting, you know, information, because they know it's way bigger than just, this little group, this little handful. They know it goes way beyond this. And when they take it down, they want to take it all down at once. And sometimes that can take years to get it done. It could take quite a while before you see law enforcement come down on Don, Candace, JodiSue's and Andy's, Fred's and Laura's, Hunter and his family. Because I think law enforcement thinks that this reaches out into New York City. I think they think it reaches out, over into Virginia. I think they think it reaches out over into Arkansas. I think they're collecting data on more than just this little isolated bunch sitting in Tennessee, because it's way bigger. And I believe if Summer's case is solved, you're going to see a chain reaction going into Arkansas, going into other areas as well. It's going to be like massive, is what I'm thinking. And I think that's why the feds have came in on it, because they have now found out that it's over state lines. That's just my opinion. Because usually that's the only time that feds come in on something, and they just came back in. So that tells me that something's over state lines. James, I don't know who you are, to be honest with you. I don't know who you are. I see that you say if PG gives you permission to post some type of link or something, and you'll do it. I don't give permission to post links in here, because I don't know what my people are clicking on. And I don't want my people clicking on something that I have no idea where it leads. That's, so no, I don't give permission for that. I talked to the FBI today, and they said they are not on the case. Sorry. Well, that isn't what Tennessee law enforcement came out and said. That ain't what that isn't what was said. Even Nancy Grace is not going to spread anything that isn't true. And Nancy Grace herself came out and said, yes, the feds are on Summer's case now. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys watch Nancy Grace. If you heard Nancy Grace say the feds are on Summer's case. And I'm going to tell you, Nancy Grace, very well known, got a lot of inside information that other people cannot get. And I'm pretty sure if she says they are, they are. I'm also pretty sure that the feds has been out here from day one. Just saying. I mean, like, if we know that this case goes way beyond the wells, if we have information that it led into Arkansas and it's led over into Virginia and it's led to these other places, do you not think that the feds and law enforcement already knew that too? Do you think that they do not understand that this is way bigger? Than what little bit we're seeing? I mean, we think it's a lot, dealing with so many people, Laura's and Fred's and Don's and Candace's. And I mean, it's all over the place for us. I mean, it's over there in Kingsport with Allison and that damn group of people. And, but it keeps going. And it's going over state lines. And law enforcement knew that from day one. That's why the feds were called in to begin with. Do you think the feds just walk off once they're called in? That don't happen. It don't happen. Trust me. Everything in Summer's case is hitting, the bank, and the bank is getting full. And when it's completely full, and all the information that is getting that needs to be gotten has been got at that particular time, you'll see action happening. And I think Don and Candace are aware of that. I think JodiSue and Andy's aware of that. I think Fred Hill's smart enough to be aware of this. They're all sitting ducks. Every one of them are sitting ducks because they're all connected into it. Now, does Andy and JodiSue go outside of Tennessee? I don't think so. I just don't think so. I think they had involvement, but isolated involvement on Ben Hill Road. Do I think Fred Hill goes outside of Tennessee? No. I think he's an isolated as well. Don, Candace, and Grandis outside of, oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. no doubt that they're outside of it. Well, I took note that there's a lot more states picking up the death penalty for essayers. For people who violate children, they're picking up the death penalty. It ain't going to be no more walk off for these essayers. They are going to end up getting sentenced to death. And because you can't fix it. You cannot fix it. They've got a mental condition that cannot be fixed. They don't want to be fixed. These people don't want to be fixed. Will it make it a lot more dangerous? Yes. It'll make it a lot more dangerous, for victims. Because they won't want to take the risk of the child being able to tell, right? So the stiffer law is going to make it more dangerous. But the good thing is, as the ones they get won't ever get the opportunity to do it again. And the good thing is, with parents knowing that this is going to make it more dangerous, they're going to keep a better eye on their children. Can BB have the link to what? To that guy that was just in here? I don't know that guy. If anyone else in here knows who this James guy is, please enlighten me, because I have no idea who it is. Only out of the country, Stephanie. CIA don't come in unless it's like out of the country. The feds come in when it goes over state lines, or could be over state lines. And the CIA comes in when it's, involved with different countries. Yeah, I don't know him either. And if one of you guys click on a link that, leads to, something you don't want to see, or, does something, to your computer or whatever, I do not want to be responsible for that. It's very dangerous to click on links. if it was Justin, which we know, or someone, or like JLR that we know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't care, but I don't know that guy. Ain't the link at the top of the, you mean to come up? Isn't it at the top of the ain't it pinned at the top? It should be pinned at the top. I always pin it. Yeah, that's true, Stephanie. That is true. And that's the StreamYard link. I just put it in. I thought it was pinned. I'm sorry if I forgot to pin it. There she is. What's up, girlfriend?
Hello, sweetie. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Could be better. Hanging in there. Just wanted to come up and say hi to you.
Well, I appreciate it, girl.
What have you been doing? Did you have a good holiday?
Did I have
4th
a
of
holiday?
July?
Oh, 4th of July. Yeah. I mean, good as could be expected, right?
Did you do fireworks with little one around?
He wasn't. I didn't take him out. There was tons of fireworks, going off, but
Got ya.
yeah, we kept him home because he's too little for all of that, and so. But yeah,
He
the
must
rest.
be looking really cute now, PG.
And tell you, he's a living doll. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's
They grow into themselves, don't they, around this age?
yeah, and it's hard. It's hard, seeing. That's God's little creation, right?
Yeah,
And
God made him for you.
and they're so freaking adorable. They're just. It's like, how could anyone in this world destroy something so beautiful? I mean, I don't understand it, girl.
I know. I've been reading the Bible a lot lately, going to church, getting with God, and
Well,
looking at my two children and thinking, God really did give me a gift, gifted me with two beautiful kids.
yeah,
He even sent me a beautiful pussycat.
I'm going to tell you, children are amazing. They're amazing. And they're amazing at every age. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're just, a tiny little one, or just learning everything, or if they're a, grade schooler or teenager.
I've been getting driven around by my 34-year-old boy today everywhere.
There you go.
He took me to the doctor. He took me into town to get an X-ray. He
I'm
took me
going
to
to tell
get
you.
my medication. He held my hand.
And you're so
What a
proud.
lovely boy.
You're so proud. No matter how they get,
Really proud of him.
you're so proud of them, and
He goes around and talks to everyone about Jesus.
they don't cease to amaze you. They don't ever cease to amaze you. And how people can destroy, something so beautiful. in this life? I don't know. I have no idea.
I've got no idea how anyone could have hurt Summer.
You got to be heartless, man. You got to be evil and heartless as you can get to destroy a child. It's unbelievable. And
Two people like them could produce such a beautiful little girl, and they destroyed her.
she was amazing. She was amazing. Summer was, you could tell, you could tell from the videos that she was just so full of light. And you could tell that, anytime Candace took pictures of that little girl outside, and I don't care if it was summer, winter, spring, fall, there was always a ray of sunshine coming out of the sky on her. And
She's
it's just
beautiful.
like, it's like
Even
God
with
was
no
lighting
hair.
up.
Even with no hair, she was beautiful.
Oh, she was amazing, full of life, full of light. And them fuckers, I'm gonna tell you, that little girl's righteousness irritated their demons. That's what happened. Her righteousness irritated their demons. And them dirty bastards, and this is my opinion, they destroyed that baby. Just like these other thick fucking evil human beings, little
I'm horrified with the neighbours that no one can come forward and tell the truth. It's
little
ridiculous.
Emmanuel. It's just evil in this world. These people are so mentally fucked up and disturbed.
In the world.
And it's such a shame. It's such a shame because Candace already destroyed 2 children. She already destroyed 2 children over in Wisconsin, and she should not have ever been allowed to have another child in her fucking presence. Ever. They should have took them immediately and put them in good homes that would have raised them, cared about them, and gave them a chance at life like the boys are in right now. They should have been there way sooner. And
those 2 will get theirs when they've gone to glory.
Right? And
when they're dead and gone to glory, the wrath of God will fire down upon them. They'll have to answer to God.
They just had 16 children pulled out of a wreckage of a fucking house. Where they were totally destroyed as well. Unbelievable. How in the hell,
that house that was like a pigsty?
How the hell would someone have 16 children and nobody seemed to know about it? I mean,
I think I'm going
to tell you the problem ain't just these sick bastards. The problem ain't just these sick, evil son of a bitches doing it. The problem is people who know about it, but don't step up and don't speak up and don't give these children no help.
That's exactly right. People that sit back, know about it, and don't do anything about it are just as guilty as the people that are doing the offence. Like Ellie, the grandmother, every associate of the Wells that knew that Don and Candace were abusing the kids, and they said nothing.
Allison got her kids taken away right after Summer.
Yeah, but Allison could have spoken up and called the police.
Allison's mother got all of her kids taken as well. And I'm going to tell you something. That was a chain reaction from Ben Hill Road.
They're a pack of yobos, if you ask me.
That's why I'm telling you that this is way bigger than we think. And they're still collecting information and data on all of this. And that is exactly what I'm talking about, because
But do you remember the phone call,
they took
PG? Do you
they
remember?
started removing all of these kids that were affiliated with that fucking heel and affiliated with all of the shit that was going on, with these children. What I'm saying is, I believe Allison's mother's kids were took because law enforcement understood that they were up there on that hill, engaging in whatever was going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And Allison's kids were engaging in whatever was going on that hill. And Marlena Crawford's child engaging in whatever was going on. All of these children were tied to that fucking hill that was being removed out of all of these houses. And that's why, and that's why I'm telling everybody this is, this goes way deeper and is way bigger
And when you
than
think, and when you
what,
think about
meet the
Candace,
eye. What did you say?
when you think about Candace and where she's come from, you think about Grandis with Rose, how Rose has gone missing, and then Candace's brother, he's an RSO. You got to think about all the genealogy from where they come from. These people just think it's okay to go around abusing kids, and it
I
just
think
runs in the family,
I
goes
think
down the
they
family
all,
tree.
in my opinion, I think they all crawled out of fucking hell. That's what I think. I think they all crawled out of fucking hell. And and I think they all should fucking crawl back in. That's my opinion. I'll keep it.
Yep, totally agree. You've done a
They
good life tonight. I've been watching you on the road while driving around in the car. Jono got in the car and he goes, "Who's that?" And I said, "It's PG," and he laughed. He's laughing his head off.
Yeah, it might.
He
I don't
goes,
know.
he
Might be
goes,
illegal. It
she's,
might be illegal to watch me on the road. I don't know.
we were driving around listening to you, and he's laughing his head off. Oh, you're cute.
You think so?
Yeah, I
Okay.
love it. You're a kitty when you start telling people off.
I don't feel so cute sometimes. Oh, and I'm going to tell you, um, there's a couple people I wanted to address as well before I get out of here tonight. One of them is that mother freaking O'Connor lady.
Pam O'Connor.
Let me tell you something. That woman
She's
used to
rude.
be here, that two-face thing used to be in here, and then she two-faced it over to Lisa Kay and Day Day. And I'm going to tell you what, she can just go take a flying fuck, in my opinion. She can take a flying fuck. And I'm going to
She's a
tell you,
Wells supporter.
she needs to keep my name out of her fucking mouth. That's what she needs to do. She wants to be a keyboard warrior. Go right ahead. But keep PG out your fucking mouth. And not only that, but then there's another one called Jam, some JAM. And I'm going to
That's
tell you,
Ziggy's
Jam, you're
friend.
just fucking jelly. That's what you are. You're jelly.
Yeah.
And I got news for you. You keep my baby's name the fuck out of your mouth. You sorry ass bitch. Just keep your damn mouth off of my child. My child ain't none of your fucking business, okay?
Children are
No,
out of bounds.
never. Low life piece of shit. You're a sorry ass, jealous bitch because you can't be me. You wish you was me, but you're not. Shut the fuck up and get lost. Okay?
Spot on, little PG.
And both of those bitches can come up here any fucking time and tell me one time I lied. You want to call me a liar? Then you fucking come up here and call me out on what I lied about, you fucking hoes. Because I'm going to tell you what, I motherfucking have proof of everything that I have ever said. I show receipts on like Day, on like Ziggy, on like all of these son of bitches that feel like they need receipts but don't ever fucking have none to back their fucking lying tongues up with. You know what you can do? You kiss my fucking ass. That's what you can do, Jam. That's what you can do, O'Connor. Okay? Kiss PG's ass.
She's got a mouth on her, that one.
I'm going to tell you something.
Jam 420, that's Ziggy's friend.
The lying fucking bitches are them. The lying bitches are them. I'm going to tell you something. These people, you know, for some reason, they just have to have somebody to hate.
Oh, they've got so much hate in them, don't they? Yeah, I know.
You know, and I don't understand it. I ain't done nothing to either one of them bitches. Matter of fact, I don't even fucking know them. Obviously, they know me better than I know them. Because I don't know them at all, right? They ain't even a thought to me until I seen the two keyboard warriors over there in killer looks, you know, going fucking mayhem, talking shit about PG. I'm like, whoa, you know.
Really?
Yeah, two sorry ass bitches.
I don't get on YouTube all the time anymore.
I'm gonna tell you.
I only come on to watch you now.
They're just like the rest of the evil beings in this world. You know, they think that they can breathe their fucking lies into truth. Well, you can't, because it's a devil's old trick and everybody's done caught on to it. It don't take a New York second for people to catch on to the devil's old tricks. That's why they don't work.
I can't believe it's been 5 years for summer. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to tell you, I think the new sheriff is going to settle this one up.
I think so too.
I really do. I think he's going in there and he's settling this up.
I reckon once he's been sworn in, something will happen.
I hope, you know, I hope he's
I'm praying for it anyway.
I hope he's all saddled up and ready to ride in and do what needs to be done, right?
I'm leaving Summer's case to the Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. I leave it to
bigger than all of us. He's the only one that can solve it.
We ain't got no choice. I've been leaving it to God from day one because I know that I control nothing. I can only do what God allows me to do. That's all any of us can do. I mean, you know, we should know, you know, that everything's in God's control because everything's out of our control, right? I mean, I can sit here and make 100 plans for tomorrow, but tomorrow might not even come. I mean, you know, the thing is it doesn't matter what you think you're going to be doing. If the Lord ain't willing, you're not going to be doing anything. You got to depend on God, you know. You got to depend on God to keep breathing every second you're breathing. You got to depend on God, you know, for everything that he gives you. You got to depend on God, you know, to let you be where you want to be, because if he don't want you to be there, you're not going to. Your car's going to break down.
I need to speak to you sometime off here to understand a bit more about God. There are a few things I need to ask you about. I don't understand.
I tell you what.
You know how you've got God the Father, God the Son, and then the Holy Spirit? They say that it's all one.
God will whoop your ass. God will whoop your ass when you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Trust
Oh,
me. He'll let
absolutely.
you know. He'll let you know you need to get back in line. That's for sure.
I've just finished Leviticus. I'm up to Numbers now, nearly finished it. And my word, what a powerful Lord we've got. Wow. The stories I've been reading.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something.
Absolutely fascinating how the world first started and how he took the Israelite, how he,
Bible's scary. Bible is scary. You
yep,
know, a lot of people
the
say, "Oh,
10,
you know,
the 10 prophecies,
the Bible."
and
Oh
it is
yeah.
scary. It is scary.
Well,
And
what happened?
how he guided Moses from
What happened to
Egypt to
those?
Israel.
Yeah, the Egyptians. They got it, didn't they? They really got it.
Absolutely. He
Yeah,
divided the Red Sea
he put all
and
them
drowned them
flags
all.
on them.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
That would have been spectacular to see all that.
The Bible is definitely scary, and I'll tell
It
you
is
something.
scary.
Well, people say it's repetition. You know, yeah,
All the
God.
all the sacrifices that you read in is Exodus.
Well,
All the sacrifices of the lambs on the altar. You know what I mean? And
well,
it's repetitive.
that's before Jesus came, and
Yeah.
and died on the cross so everybody could be saved through him. But I think the reason everything had to change is because the people were changing, and God goes before us. God knew exactly what 2026 was going to look like when he created this earth. God knows everything, and he knows way ahead of time. He knows everything way before these people were created.
Yeah, he's
And
got it all planned out for us already.
he knew exactly the way look at the book of Revelations. It's the very end. It's the
I
end
haven't read
of
it yet.
time. And it's right on the money. You know,
Past the
it
past is
tells
telling
you
me to go to the New Testament and start at the New Testament and read it and then
you
go
got
back to the Old
no
Testament.
the you got to read the whole Bible. I mean,
So I'm doing it the correct way.
exactly. God
All
gave
right.
you one book, and you got to start from the beginning to the end.
All right.
You're not going to understand the New Testament if you don't read the old one first.
That's what I said to Jono. Yeah.
That's the way. Like it would be like any book you get. Do you start in the middle of it and then finish it? No, you start at the beginning, and then and you read it till the end. And that's the way the Bible's set up as well. That's if God didn't mean for the Bible to be read, from cover to cover, it wouldn't be set up that way. So you gotta do it right if you're going to do it at all. Especially when you're messing with God, you better do it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, my girl, I'm going to get down.
All right, girl. Hey,
Love you. Love you to pieces. Give
I'm happy
Bubba a
to
big
hear.
kiss.
I'm happy to hear you and your families, getting with God and getting
Oh,
righteous.
yeah, we're enjoying it too.
Amen. Hey, girl,
Amen.
You guys should play Bible trivia. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You want to get your kids busy? Play Bible trivia.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, you'll see them. You'll see them reading the cards and memorizing them so they can keep winning.
We've got a beautiful gospel church here. It's lovely. Beautiful people
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah.
Lovely pastor. We're getting baptized next in summer when at the beach.
Oh, praise the Lord, girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
Absolutely. I'm all for that. But
I'm
you
so proud of the kids.
let me tell you something. Um, I have actually watched. I've actually watched the preachers break ice. It's so cold they broke the ice to baptize people. And I'm going to tell you something. Those people they baptized, let me tell you something, girl. They did not get a cold. They did not get anything from being baptized in the dead of winter. Nothing. Um, it's amazing. It's amazing to see God work.
Janet's been my rock behind the scenes. My girl.
I actually got baptized in cold water. And let me tell you something, I didn't feel a
Oh,
thing.
really?
I did not feel nothing, girl. Let me tell you right now.
I don't think I could do that here. It's freezing.
It was warm going down and it was warm coming up and it stayed warm. Um I felt no coldness whatsoever, period, at all. Yeah, believe it or not, I know. I know what it's like to go down in cold water and come up.
The beaches here are freezing.
I didn't feel a thing. Didn't feel nothing.
And
Don't think the
snow.
people did either.
Lots of snow on the road today. It was really slippery. Anyway, I'm going to get down. Can you kick me off?
Girl, you always have me give you the steel toe boot, and
I do.
Make me feel bad.
All right. Love to everyone in chat.
Hey, I
Love to
love
you,
you.
PG.
You know it. God bless,
God
girl.
bless. Bye.
Oh, I hate giving her this steel toe boot. Right? Anyway, I love that woman. She's a sweetheart. The ice bath works wonders. And I tell you, you don't feel nothing. You go down. It doesn't matter how cold that water is. I promise you, if you're getting baptized, I mean, like if you fall in, if you fall in some icy water, you're gonna feel cold and have to get back, where it's warm. But if you're getting baptized, you don't feel nothing. It's amazing, you know, that you felt nothing at all. Um, that's God right there. That's definitely God. People say, "Did you see God today?" I have. I've seen God all day today. I see God every day. God's everywhere. He's everywhere. I don't know how other people can't see him. I see him in the people I love. I see him in in all the artwork he made out there in the world. I see God all the time. I see him in other people's kindness, caring, love. I see God always. I don't know how other people don't see him. God is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, he lets you meet so many amazing people. I've always heard family that prays together stays together. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I don't think a house can be full of love without God in it. That's just my opinion. But I truly believe it. Aw, Lori, I'm so sorry to hear that. Absolutely. As we go out of here tonight, absolutely. Lori says, please pray for the little 10-year-old hit by 2 cars off of the vent right now. Amen. Hey, girl, if he's come that far, people's already praying. Trust and believe that. People's already praying. But we're gonna join those prayers, right? We're gonna join them. I'm sure he'll be just fine. Absolutely. Texas is already on it. She's sending the prayers up as we speak. Amen. Okay, you guys, I'm going to head out of here. But make sure, as we leave out of here tonight, to pray for Summer, Moon, Utah Wells. God has let us get this far with everything. He's brought us to great understanding on this little girl's case and all those timelines and everything. We got to be so grateful and thankful for that. I know I am. And I know that I don't think God's going to bring us this far without taking us completely to the end of this case, where Summer's found, brought home, and justice gets served. I truly believe God will let Summer be found at some point. We got to get somebody to really look for her first, right? We got to get somebody willing to check that grave site. I think at that point we'll find her. If you don't want to find her, then don't check it. But I think the minute someone does, we're going to find her. God might have to wash that whole hill into the road, but he can do it. He can do it. It wouldn't be the first time, right? Wouldn't be the first time that things been washed into the road. I think God's given law enforcement a chance to do it right. But I truly believe it will be done. However it has to. It'll be done. But keep those prayers going up, because he is answering. God's answering. We didn't get this far on our own. We got this far because this is how far God brought us. And if we want to keep going, we got to keep praying. That's the truth. So keep those prayers going up for this little girl, because God is listening. Keep them going up for Michael Vaughn, Sebastian Rogers. Keep them going up for little Emmanuel. Keep them going up for Genesis. Now we got the other little girl as well, right? We've got so many. I can't believe people destroy children like this. Genesis and Jehaven are, beautiful little girls like Summer. And it's so sad to see somebody destroy them. Pray for those 16 children pulled out of that wreckage. Pray for the law enforcement that had to go in there and endure it. Pray for Nancy. She still ain't been found either. So much tragedy in this world. Pray for one another, you guys. Pray for one another. And pray for that baby that got hit and is doing better, but still needs a lot of prayer. Let us be the ones praying. In the name of Jesus, amen. Keep those prayers going up. God bless. Much love. Good night, you guys.